What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video in the Road to 1 Million series, where I document our journey from $0 to $1 million in real estate and with our software. So tonight, I wanted to talk about, and this is not like a specific lesson or anything like that, but it's just kind of a general idea and framework to have when building a business. And I've touched on this briefly as like a side note in a couple other videos, but I just wanted to say it again and remind myself and that sort of thing. But that is to draw parallels from other industries and other businesses. Now, this came across because, as I mentioned last night, this platform WAP looks increasingly more similar to what we are trying to do in a completely parallel industry. Now, there's gonna be a few big hurdles because the space that it's in is slightly more consumer oriented, and it's also in a more digital friendly niche, which would be like online platforms like coaches, that sort of, or like any sort of online creator, brand affiliations, that sort of thing, brand affiliates. And we're in real estate, which is a little bit slower to adapt, obviously, which is why we're making our product. But there are a lot of parallels that can be drawn, and this is true not only in real estate, but in any business. Like I was saying earlier, be curious about business and always learn more from people about what they do and how they contribute to the economy and how everything works, because it's all tied together. And the more you understand the full picture, the better you are going to be equipped to come in and implement a solution to a problem, because you're going to have just more context to be able to problem solve and to identify problems to begin with. And so this also goes for people. So if, for example, we're talking with all sorts of people, we're only going to be launching our MVP to wholesalers, most likely. And we're talking to agents, we're talking to investors, we're talking to wholesalers, which are all going to be on our platform. But we also might talk to agents who are not necessarily investor agents. We also might talk to people who are in commercial real estate. And because all of these things can, even if one day we don't serve them, they're going to give us more context and we'll be able to get more ideas for our product at the very least. But if you have a lot of context around other parallel, or not even within the same industry, and it's a slightly different sub niche, you may be able to serve them later on if a problem arises, or if the market shifts, or if you just want to expand your product or your service. So keep that in mind. When we first started out, we were always trying to be, well, when you first start out, you think that you can solve every problem, and then you get a little bit of knowledge after X amount of months or years sometimes, or weeks if you're really smart, and you understand that you just have to solve one thing and do one thing really well. But once you get to that, you should really focus on that. But that doesn't mean, what we did is you get like kind of tunnel vision. You're like, okay, I'm not even gonna hear anything out. Like, my dad offered me to connect me with a lot of people. I always see this guy walking his dog, like, what the fuck, every time. My dad offered to connect me with a lot of people last summer. They were like in real estate and other sort of things. I was like, oh, it's okay, we're doing like this marketing tech thing. And so I like just didn't, because I was an arrogant little fuck. But now, any sort of opportunity I want to hear about. If you're in sales, obviously. If you're in tech, you're in real estate, those are like the top ones I want to hear. But if you're in anything financial, even if you're like something medical, there always is a lesson to be learned from it. And you need to understand the big picture in the way that people transact in the marketplace, because it'll give you the most context, like I said before. And the more, it never hurts to know more. It never hurts to know more and know more people. For example, our lawyer, my friend's dad, said, like, it's just a lawyer. So I'm like, oh, I can just treat this like a lawyer. But he has a lot of clients, and he's like, oh, I can connect you with this guy in real estate. Perfect. That sort of thing. So keep that in mind when you're starting out. Don't be, what's the word? I can't think of it. Just don't be afraid to talk to other people, and don't be wary of, putting a little extra effort to talk to someone, even if they're not directly what you're looking for at the time. But keep that in mind. I'll catch y'all in God, these fuckers can't drive. Holy fuck. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Leave a comment if you have any questions about your thing, or if you just want to share your story, what you're doing in entrepreneurship. Tomorrow I will be in better lighting, I hope. This is a little just quick little 3 weekend ones. Try to get them in before I forget. So I'll see you on the next one.